Hi, I want to tell you a story of what recently happened, and that I asked someone to create an account and password, and they came up with a password that kind of looks like this. First thing I asked when I saw it was, wait, how many zeros is that? Right, because having a bunch of zeros in a row is really hard to read, or at least really hard to read fast and accurately. That's the idea behind scientific notation. When you're dealing with something like a huge number, like this one, for example, the first thing you would also be asking is, how many zeros is that? And I want to know how big this number is accurately, right? I can tell right away it's a huge number, but how huge is it? And that's not easy to do when I'm just looking at a bunch of zeros. I mean, having the commas helps, but then I still have to count the commas and all that. Whereas, if this number were written in scientific notation, it would be like this. And I can tell right away from the power of 10 that it is 16. I immediately know that this is a number 5 followed by 16 zeros. I know the order of magnitude of this number is that order of magnitude. It's the 16 zeros order of magnitude. That's why scientists and engineers and mathematicians and other people that work with huge numbers prefer scientific notation than the usual way of writing things. Now, scientific notation also works for tiny decimals. If you have a tiny decimal like this, again, you'd be asking, how many zeros is that? But if you write it in scientific notation, it's like this, and the power of 10 is -9. So that tells me two things. First of all, the negative tells me that we're looking at a tiny, tiny little number, the negative power of 10. Second thing is the number 9. The 9 doesn't tell me about how many zeros are there between 5 and the decimal point. There are two ways of thinking about that number 9. One is you can think of it as the 0 in front of the decimal is 1, and then 8 more zeros after the decimal for a total of 9. So that's one way to think about it. But the second way, which I think is a better way, is to think that the 9 tells you where the number 5 is. It's sitting in the 9th decimal position. There are 8 zeros followed by a 5 for a total of 9 positions. Okay, so that's how scientific notation works for tiny decimals. Right? Hope that helps. Like, share, and subscribe for more contents. And thanks for watching. Bye.